right, thanks for joining us on another great episode of Sportsin. It's always a pleasure having your company, and I'm looking forward to talking about some great exciting events covered over the weekend as well as this week. Before we get any further, here is a slight preview on what we have on the show for you tonight. We have the operations team from the Capital Rugby Union competition and the president of Athletics PNG, Tony Green, who joins us via Zoom. So that's what we have on the show for you tonight. Those are the guests we have on the show for you tonight. All right, big games covered over the weekend. The T20 East Asia Pacific Regional T20 qualifiers that was played between a period of 9 days, which saw our very own PNG Barramundis qualifying for a T20 World Cup spot in West Indies next year. Congratulations to the skipper Asad Valad and the incumbent coach Nathan Redden on a well-deserved performance. Also, the National Premier League competition, which saw some upsets there. Ekari United defeating Ley City FC 2-0, and we had the Port Moresby Strikers also beating the Ley City Dwellers 3-2 right here in Port Moresby. The team departed on Tuesday this week with the Chief de Mission Yamo Launa and executives. So we're looking forward for the team to do well, and hopefully they can bring some medals for the country. All right, without further ado, here is a slight preview on the weekend sporting events that took place over the weekend. We'll start with NRL Round 22 results. In NRL Round 22 results, the Broncos 32 defeated the Roosters on 10 points. Rabbitohs came out firing in this one. They defeated Tigers on 32 points to 18. The Melbourne Storms over the Eels 46 points to 12, 46 points to 18, and the Knights also crashing the Raiders with an upsetting scoreline there, 28 points to 6. The Eagles 24 defeated Dragons on 18. Panthers 28 defeating the Sharks on 0. The Bulldogs 23 overpowering the Dolphins on 22 with a 1 point game difference, and the Titans defeating the Cowboys 22 points to 13. Also in the Host Plus Cup Round 19 results, winner Manly Seagulls 30 points defeating the Falcons on 28. North Devils 41 defeating the Jets on 34 points. Belly Bears 22 drawing with Northern Pride 22 points all. Blackhawks 46 defeating the Cats on 6. Capras there 26 over Clydesdales on 10. And the East Tigers walking over the PNG Hunters at 32 points to 18. To the PNG NRLC Round 15 results, Gurus registering the highest score of the competition with a 44 whooping over Kindekata 16. And Miox continuing their dominance with the 14th win of the season, 14 in a row win with a 22 points defeat over Sepik Pride 6. Wigman 24 defeating the Mount Hagen Eagles on 18. Tigers 28 over the Gulf Iso 12. Muruks 32 defeating the Barries on 20 points. And the Port Moresby Vipers there registering 18 points over the Goroka Lahanis on 14. To the National Premier League Round 7 results, Ekari 2 defeating Ley City FC 0, Port Moresby Strikers 3 over Ley City Dwellers 2, Morabe Wawens 2 defeating Medane FC on 1, and the Gulf Komara and United Islands FC ending the match with a 3-all draw. And that was the recap of what took place over the weekend. Some upsets there in the NRL and the National Premier League in Port Moresby. All right, we'll take a short break now, and when we return, we will feature the operations team from Capital Rugby Union. That's coming up straight after this break, so don't go away. Stay with us. Welcome back, and if you just tuned in, you're watching Sportsin. All right, joining me on set tonight is the Capital Rugby Union's operations team, Paranas Bokuik and Eddie Galele all the way from CRU. Guys, good night and thanks for joining me on Set Tonight.
Good night, David.
Good night, David. Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll get straight into it. It's been a great season, and the competition now finally comes to its business end, and with the finals expected this weekend. Paranas, how has the season been running throughout this year?
This season was a really successful season for us, especially all the clubs coming together to achieve whatever the executives and our sponsors want this year. They've really pulled through. Credit to all the clubs that really adhered to all the rules and regulations of our competition, and it really helped us get this far all the way to the finals. And yeah, it's been a really successful season for us, and hopefully it's bigger and better next year.
Paranas, just tell us a bit about where the finals will take place.
So this next 2 weekends, the finals will be at Bava, and then on August 19, the finals will be at NFS. So it's like a really good way to give back to our competition that really stuck by us the whole season, all the clubs. It's a really good way to finish the season. So it'd be really good to get all the rugby fanatics, everyone that loves rugby union, to get down for these 2 weekends at Bava and build up to the big dance on August 19.
One of the teams that made a really big adjustment to the season this season was defense. Just tell us a bit about the team. What's the improvement that this team has shown?
Well, Sydney, them coming over, they're one of the core teams that started Paul Marafi back in the day. They've had a stronghold on the competition for the past, safe to say, 20 years. You could see improvements across the park, specifically around the set pieces and technical areas. So Sydney and his team have actually done well with that. But that's taking nothing away from brothers Joe Kautu and Johnny Pasingan. They've done very well with their core players. They've added a few to bolster their charge this year, and yeah, it's going to be a really entertaining match on Saturday.
So looking forward to that. All right, we're expecting changes to the finals in terms of the venues. Just run us through that.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one, and something that we're looking forward to at CRU. We're going to be holding the finals at the National Football Stadium. We've put together a team to take us through that, and we're really looking forward to hosting a memorable experience, not only for our supporters, but more importantly our stakeholders, and players who have really brought this comp up to where we envisioned it to be.
All right, having been said, are there plans of expanding in terms of accommodating more teams for next season, 2024?
That I can't say, and actually not I can't say, I'd like to rephrase that we're not aware of. But we will be doing what we can do best for the competition. We leave that to the other executives to come through with that. There will be criteria, but as I said earlier, I won't elaborate further. Right. We will just concentrate, because we've got different programs running through, and we've just started this year with the junior development program. We're looking forward to having a lot more kids in the third term clinic that we'll be running, CRU, and post grand final, we're looking at mass participation across both players, your clubs, and stakeholders as well.
All right. Any shout out to rugby fanatics out there? Paranas, can you just highlight about it? Just a shout out to rugby fanatics to come and watch finals this weekend. Yeah,
this weekend, especially this weekend, it's going to be a really big weekend for us. So all the top 4 teams are going to be playing on this Saturday. You'd have 2 matches that are going to be really big, especially our Premier Grade and our Women's Division. So it'll be good to get everyone down and really build up towards the big dance August 19th.
All right, just before we let you guys go, is there any team that you would like to add in? Please, the floor is open. Feel free.
I would like to welcome everybody down to Bava over the next 2 weekends. NFS should be a blast, as is expected. And yeah, go rugby.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. That was the operations team of Capital Rugby Union, Paranas Bokuik, and Eddie Galele. Guys, thanks for joining us on board, and it was a pleasure. We wish you all the best going into the finals. we'll look forward for some great rugby action this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a short break now. We will return with more right here on Sports In. Welcome back, and you're watching Sports In. All right, joining me on set tonight is the president of Athletics PNG, Tony Green. Tony, good night and welcome to Sports In.
Good night, David. Yes, and thank you for inviting me on the show this evening.
All right, we'll go straight into our first question. With less than 4 months remaining before the 2023 Pacific Games in Solomon Islands, a lot of the country's sporting federations are currently into preparation mode. And Athletics PNG is also in that mode as well. Tony, just run us through on what Athletics PNG is doing towards selecting a national team towards the Pacific Games.
David, we've been obviously working towards this for quite a long time now. So as you say, we're getting to the final stages. We recently had a national squad training camp at the NSI in Goroka. And we're now looking forward to the PNG National Championships, which will be in Port Moresby from the 11th to the 13th of August. And we'll be finalising the team for the games after those championships.
All right, you mentioned there the National Championship, which is happening in Port Moresby next month. Are we expecting big-name athletes like Toya Whistle, Rayleigh Caputin, and a few others to be to participate in the championship?
That's right. We have all the US-based athletes back in the country at the moment, including Leroy Kamau and the other sprinters that were based in Kansas. So because the men's sprint is looking to be very competitive this year, we thought it'd be good to have all the athletes here so that we don't have, it sort of takes a lot of the subjectivity out of the selection, where they all compete head-to-head rather than comparing performances for different athletes in different places. We didn't bring the girls back. Leonie Bu and Isila Apkup are still in the US. The girls' sprint is not so competitive. So those athletes have obviously already earned their places in the team, and it wasn't necessary to bring them back for the championship. But we will have Rayleigh Caputin, Adrian Managi, Sharon Tuako, those athletes that are currently training in Australia. They're coming for the championship. So we're looking forward to some very good competition.
All right, from the championship, how many athletes are you planning on taking into camp to prepare for the games?
The squad is pretty well set. It's just a matter of finalising the last few places in the team, and after the championship. So then we have to look at how we can best prepare the athletes in that final 3 months.
I believe the APNG selection policy was recently reviewed this year. Has it been disclosed to the athletes as yet? Just tell us a bit about that.
Actually, the policy has been there for a couple of years. We just needed to modify it slightly to take account of the situation with the US-based athletes. We originally thought that they would still be over there. So now that they're all here, we just clarified where we are with that, and the policy really hasn't changed very much. We're looking for consistency in performances, not just one performance at the national championships. Athletes with consistent performances over a period of time.
Thanks for making it clear on the selection policy there. PNG dominated last year's Mini Pacific Games in Saipan, Northern Marianas. Are you aiming to build on from that success in order to maintain your position as the top track and field nation in the Pacific?
Yeah, obviously we want to maintain our position as the number one nation in the Pacific in athletics. But obviously the Pacific Games is going to be a lot more competitive than the mini games was in Saipan. So we're under no illusions about that. We just have to prepare our squad the best we can. Not really worry too much about what the other countries are doing. We're just focused on preparing our team. There's obviously going to be a strong challenge from the Solomon Islands with the distance events. We haven't seen much from them so far, but you can be sure that they are preparing their distance runners, and they have had some success at the games in recent years in a limited number of events. We've got Australia will be coming into the games again. Not with their top athletes, but there will be some good competition from Australia as well. So really, we're really hoping that the government will come good on its commitment, because we really do need some financial assistance with that final preparation. The athletes are going to need to get to some good competitions in Australia before the games.
All right. Apart from the Pacific Games, the athletes will also be preparing for the Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago. Just tell us a bit about how things are going towards that.
Yes, we have 3 young athletes, all female, for the games. 1 sprinter and a couple of middle long distance runners. We think it's important that athletes going as far away as that to compete at a high level, they need a good preparation. So we'd like to thank the PNG Olympic Committee for making some funding available through the Kumul Consolidated Holding sponsorship for the athletes to spend a couple of weeks at the Gold Coast before they go to Trinidad on the 1st of August. So the athletes had a competition last weekend at the Runaway Bay. And we're particularly pleased with Christina Moyang, who ran really well. She's also part of the training squad for the Pacific Games. She's been training with Scholastica Herman this year in Leh. And with a young sprinter, Judy Mitchell, based at NSI in Goroka. Judy's also running very well in the 100 meters. And Swire Goye is another middle distance runner that's also in the team.
All right, I think that's about it. Looking forward for these athletes to participate in the Trinidad and Tobago as well as the Pacific Games in Solomon Islands. Thank you very much, Mr. Green, for coming on board on set and giving us an update on Athletics PNG. And we wish you all the best going into your future endeavors. Thank you.
Okay, David, thank you. Yeah.
All right. And that was the president of PNG Athletics, Tony Green, giving us an update on Athletics PNG and their preparation going towards the Solomon Islands as well as the Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago. We wish them all the best, and we're looking forward for more athletes to finish off on the podium in SI. All right, we'll take a short break now, and we will return with more right here on Sports In. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports In. There you had it. Prior to that, you had the president of Athletics PNG, Mr. Tony Green, giving us an update of the national athletics team and the upcoming PNG Air Championship, which will be hosted at the Sir John Guise Stadium. All right, we'll now take a quick look at the weekend previews for what's coming up this weekend, starting with NRL Round 23. This Thursday night, we'll see the Eagles taking on the Roosters. Then the Friday, the 4th of August, Titans will go up against the Warriors, and Panthers taking on the Melbourne Storms. This should be a good one. Then on Saturday's triple header, the Cowboys will go up against the Broncos, Knights taking on Dolphins, and the Rabbitohs going up against the Sharks. Then on Sunday the 6th of August, Eels will take on the Dragons and Raiders taking on the West Tigers. In the Hostless Cup Round 20 draws, on Saturday the 5th of August, Tweedhead Seagulls will take on the Northern Pride. PNG Hunters taking on the Dolphins. That match will be played here in Port Moresby at the NFS. Clydesdales going up against the North Devils. Cappers taking on the Blackhawks. Falcons versus Jets. Tigers versus Magpies. And the Wynnum Manly Seagulls going up against the Belly Bears. To the PNG NRLC Round 16 draws on Saturday the 5th of August at the National Football Stadium. The Burries will take on the Kimbe Cutters. Then on Sunday the 6th of August at Lays Rugby League Oval, Milks will take on the Gulf ESO and Tigers will take on the Vipers. Also on the 6th of August at the NFS, Lahanis will take on Civic Pride to wrap up round 16 of the PNG NRLC competition. To the Capital Rugby Union Premier Men's semi-finals, this weekend we'll see Brothers taking on Defence and University Piggies taking on the Harley Queens in a do-or-die match. And that is what we have for this weekend. Some great games there in the NRL. Games to look out for is the Penrith Panthers taking on the Melbourne Storms. All right, I forgot. If there's any stories that you'd like us to come and cover or provide media coverage to, please do not hesitate to contact us on the following details. You can call us on 312-9229 or email sportscene@emtv.com, or you can visit us at Garden City Level 2 Boroko. Also, we'll be uploading all the content of tonight's show on our Sports Scene Facebook page. So if you missed out on the show, please visit that page and view the videos that you missed out on. Unfortunately, this is where I get to say goodbye. And please do take care, stay safe. And from me and my team here on Sports Scene, it was a pleasure having your company, and we shall do this again, same time, same place, right here on your number one to watch, MTV. Until then, good night and God bless you all.